Guys, welcome back to the channel. Ryan here. So I just thought I'd do something a bit different this time and talk about my top 5 differences between Slovakia and the UK. So of course there are more than 5, but this is just the 5 that are top of mind and I've seen and experienced the most. So the first would be courteous behaviours. So what I mean is please, thank you, holding the door open for somebody, letting somebody go at a junction when you're driving, stuff like this, or waiting your turn in a queue in an orderly fashion, right? That's not to say that this doesn't happen here. Of course it does. Of course people say, please, thank you, and do all these acts. But it's more noticeable in the UK. I think we're overly courteous, if you like. So, for example, if you hold the door open for somebody here, don't expect a thank you or a courteous act back. That's all I'm saying. I think also I've flashed drivers on an approach to a junction because I have some time. And I've got a look back of confusion thinking maybe I'm flashing them to warn them of the police or something, you know. So I think it's just a different mindset. So number 2, administrative bodies and paperwork. It seems like everywhere here needs a stamp and a signature of authority, which is crazy if you think, you know, we're in 2025. I know the UK is pretty much fully digitalized now. You don't have to go around these different admin bodies submitting all of your paperwork. So if one government agency has it, it's shared across all. So this would save a lot of time and unnecessary trips to all these admin bodies. And sometimes they're not open. The communication is so confusing. I've spoke with natives about this as well. And even for them, it seems very confusing. So this could be a lot more simplified if you like. Oh yeah, and another thing that was very confusing to me, getting a letter back from the energy company, which was worded absolutely awfully. I was actually in credit, but on the letter from the energy company, it said minus. Oh, this is super confusing. Just put a big plus and then the value. So that to me means we're in credit, right? So number 3, selection of meats. So I would typically have used a butcher back in the UK, and they'd have a great selection of different meats. Slovakia is really geared up on chicken and pork. I mean, you can get different selections I think you can order off the internet, for example, but I'd like to still see a butcher with a bit more selection, but I'm coming from the UK. Yeah, so I have to get in line with the local population, so I'm not special. I mean, it's not a major issue. It's just I would like a nice bit of roast beef for my Sunday dinner sometimes because it always seems to be chicken. But it's just a minor inconvenience. Number 4 would be driving habits. Driving habits are absolutely crazy here by some people. Tailgating it seems to be a national sport, and speeding, it's on what looks like just very small dual carriageways or single track roads. It's crazy behaviour. Now, it's not everyone, it is a minority, and I think I see it more here because there's a smaller population. But if you do travel to Slovakia and someone does tailgate you right up your arse, just get out of the way and let them get on with their day. That's sort of what I do. But yeah, it can be a bit of a sight to see sometimes, especially when people are overtaking 3 cars on an approach to a brow of a hill and they can't even see what's coming the other way. So yeah, some stupid driver behaviours sometimes from a minority. Number 5. So number 5, the biggest difference obviously, or challenge as well, would be language. It's a Slavic language. So for me as an as an Englishman, it's very difficult to pronounce some of the words and the logic behind it. I'm trying to read the language like it would in English, and it just doesn't. It's contextualized and sort of paragraphed and phrased not as we would do it in an English literature, if you like, or like an English standard. So, but from where I was a few years ago to where I am now, my language skills are coming on. I can quite happily leave the house, go to the local town, order things. I can speak to my neighbours about problems or issues. I can go to the pub, of course. I can go to the local store, buy stuff, you know, have like little day-to-day conversations. So from where I was to where I am now, it's a massive improvement, but I want to do it. Do I have to do it? Probably not, but life would be pretty frigging hard. But I want to do it. I want to be able to communicate with peers, with family, with friends, and just understand the language more. So I'm just going to keep going. I learn a bit in work, but it's a bit difficult to do it in work because not many people can give me more than, say, 2 minutes of their time because of work commitments, right? So I just have to get on board with it and do as best I can. But yeah, that's my top 5 differences between between Slovakia and the UK. If you want to see a bit more content like this, drop a comment and let me know, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.